Okay, let's now look at how we can go about to solve this question. Okay, it looks a bit complicated because it's just a diagram and there's no calculation, so it's actually testing on your understanding and concept of forces. Okay, so altogether, if you notice, there are actually four forces acting on the planes. Okay, so there's a lift force that's acting up, there's a air resistance which is opposing the motion, so actually this plane is trying to move to the right. Okay, thrust, which is the due to the engine that gives you the applied force, weight W, which is the weight of the aeroplane. Okay, so how do we go about to solve this question? Okay, the question asks for which is correct. So you notice there's this keyword called constant height. If you notice under Newton's first law, we say that things does not move or it stays at the same height. We can say that the vertical forces are actually equal to each other. If you see constant height, means the upward force will be equal to your downward force. Okay, if upward force is equal to downward force, so I can safely say that my resultant force is actually equal to 0. So if you notice constant height, there's no movement up, there's no movement down, resultant force is 0, so answer will be either A or C. Okay, so this is for vertical forces. Okay, the next keyword to notice is known as the gaining speed. We notice something that's gaining speed actually is actually having some form of acceleration. Okay, so there's actually a positive acceleration. So if you notice the relationship of resultant force, F is actually equal to m times A. So if there's an acceleration, means obviously there is a resultant force. So there has to be an acceleration to lead to a resultant force. So in this case, if gaining speed to the right, because it's moving to the right, so there are two forces acting on it, which is T and R. So for us to have a force, resultant force F, the T has to be greater than R. Why do I say that? If I say my T, I put in a number, for example, I put T as 10. So if I want T to be greater than R, R has to be less than 10. So I put 5. So if I form my equation for resultant force to the right is actually 10, because this is opposite direction, which is minus 5. So my resultant force will be actually 5 Newton. So for me to have a acceleration, I need to have a positive resultant force. So the best answer in this case, I need to make sure that my thrust force, my applied force, is greater than my air resistance. So the best answer for this question is option C, as what was explained just now when I break it down into two parts. So this was part 1, constant height, where the vertical forces are the same, and the second part, which is acceleration. So for me to have an acceleration, my F must be greater than 0. So this is a very important concept for this question. Okay, that's all.